I'm here to talk a little bit about the fires, the wildfires that are happening in Los Angeles. It's funny that they're called wildfires because I think that this time they're not very wild. I mean, they're wild in their action, in their consequences, but they're not wild because they are obviously man-made. They are orchestrated. I don't think anyone doubts that. The question here is, what's going on? Really, what's going on? Who is it? Is it a bunch of homeless people that are just angry at the rich, or at the world? Or is it that, but paid off by other people that have other interests? And it's also funny that most of the people that have had their houses burnt down are people, there are many in LA that are very progressive thinking, and so they are very concerned about the environment and wildlife and animals. A lot of them are vegan, yet they never did anything to prevent this from being what it is, which is something that has killed a lot of flora and fauna. Thousands of animals have died, and a huge amount of vegetation has perished. But nothing was done beforehand. Nothing was done to prevent this. There are many ways of preventing this. And, people in general there that lived in those areas, plus people responsible to take the measures to prevent this, didn't do not only enough, I think they did nothing. I'm here in this beautiful part of central Spain, close to where I live, and there's a lot of beautiful nature and vegetation, and this has made me think about the tragedy of the LA wildfires. And also recently I was at my mom's house. She lives in another part of Spain. Very beautiful, a lot of nature. And that also made me think about this LA tragedy, because there are wildfires in Spain all the time, pretty much every year. And not long ago, about 2 years ago, there was a big one where she lives, and a huge amount of forests were burnt down. And in Spain, everyone knows that there's always a reason, there's always something behind. It's not an accident. Like, I'd say 99% of the time, it's not an accident. It's provoked. And it's not a mental nutcase that just loves fires. There's something else behind. There's speculation for building, and there's someone told me recently in that area where my mom lives that when a forest burns down, the firewood that they recollect afterwards is like 80% cheaper. So, just burn down a forest and then go in and take all of the firewood that you can for a 80% discount. That's pretty much what's been happening. Human beings work not for any just reasons. I think that human beings in a collective space, in a distance relationship with the rest, don't work with any justice values. They work with just self-interest. And unless we understand that, we're not gonna understand anything else. That's just how it works. Whether it makes you feel good or not, whether it lets you down because you thought something else, you wished for a different way of being, but that's how it works. It's interests, personal interests of people that make them do things to gain more power and more wealth. That's it. It's a fight between powers to consolidate your power, your position of power, or to make it larger. There are many strange things that have happened in LA with the insurance companies not covering damage because of fires, the way the fires spreaded and started at different points, and how there was no way of dealing with that problem. There was no water. And then certain places that were saved by the fires because they had their own private way of dealing with the fires. And, you know, what's behind all of this? The politicians have acted strangely. This guy, Gavin Newsom, they're calling him the American Psycho. He's already talked about people going to that area and speculating with the land. I mean, man, what's crazy about today in the era of information and videos, everyone's recording everything, that we're seeing so clearly what is going on, and apparently we just either don't care or are afraid of doing anything or saying anything, or just accept that that's how the world works. But on the other hand, we're talking about justice and being, you know, fair, and there's none of that. Really, that's not how the world works. I'm just saying this in this beautiful part of central Spain, which I hope never burns down. And I don't know what you think, but all that LA situation is very, very shady.
I was just talking to Josh Green, the governor of down in Hawaii, who had some ideas around some land use concerns he has around speculators coming in, buying up properties, and the like. So we're already working with our legal teams to move those things forward, and we'll be presenting those in a matter of days, not just weeks.
And in terms of insurance, are you think that what the state has right now is adequate to deal with this situation?